guys, welcome back to Storytime with Mrs. Waller. Today we're going to be reading We're Amazing 1, 2, 3, a story about friendship and autism. I'd like to give a special hello to Jackson today. So hi Jackson. And we'd like to thank Random House for letting us do this read aloud. This is a picture of Elmo's friend Julia. Elmo and Julia have played together since they were very little. They like to do lots of the same things. Elmo likes blocks. He builds really tall block towers. He also likes to knock them down. Crash! Julia likes blocks too. She lines them up in a row. Cool wall, Elmo says. Elmo likes to play with his toy cars and trucks. So does Julia. She especially likes spinning the wheels around and around. Elmo and Julia both like playing games on the tablet. Elmo looks at the screen and giggles. Banana begins with the letter Z, he says. Julia laughs. No, it doesn't, she says loudly. What does banana start with? You're right, B. Julia goes with Elmo to the playground because they both love to swing. They even made up a swinging song. Swingy swing, swingity swing, they chant. Abby arrives at the playground. Hi, Elmo, says Abby. Who's your friend? This is Julia. Julia, this is Abby, Elmo says. But Julia doesn't look at Abby. Hi, Abby calls loudly, but Julia doesn't answer. Your friend doesn't like me, says Abby sadly. Elmo doesn't think that's true, Elmo says. It's just hard for her to talk when she's swinging. So Abby waits till Julia's done. Hi, Julia, she says again. Can I play with you and Elmo? But Julia just looks down. Abby is confused. Elmo's daddy told Elmo that Julia has autism, Elmo says. So she does things a little differently. Sometimes Elmo talks to Julia using fewer words, and sometimes Elmo says the same thing a few times. Can I play? Abby asks Julia. Can I play? But Julia doesn't look at Abby. Oh, and sometimes Elmo waits a long time for Julia to answer, Elmo adds. So Abby and Elmo wait. Finally, Julia says, play with Abby and Elmo. Sparkletastic, Abby says. What should we play? Julia says, Spy? I Spy? I love that game, says Abby. I spy with my little eye a blue feather. Julia looks around. She quickly spots something, runs over to it, and comes back with the feather. She laughs and flaps her hands around and around. Flapping is what Julia does when she's excited. Elmo jumps up and down, and Abby spins in a pirouette. That's what they do when they're excited. You're an expert at I Spy, Julia, Abby says. Julia starts to sing. She has a pretty voice. She sounds loud and happy. Wow, your singing is really pretty, Julia says. Wow, your singing is really pretty, Julia, says Abby. She joins in, but she forgets the words to the song. She asks Elmo what comes next. Elmo thinks. Sorry, Elmo doesn't remember. But Julia remembers. She remembers the words to song after song. The three new pals sing together for a long time. So, what should we do next, asks Elmo. Snack, says Julia. Off to Hopper's store. But inside Hooper's store, Julia seems scared. She claps her hands over her ears. What's the matter, asks Abby. Julia has really good ears, Elmo explains. Sometimes she hears noises that Elmo doesn't notice, like the noise the blender makes. She really doesn't like that. Don't worry, guys, says Alan. I'll turn the blender off. Then Julia takes her hands away from her ears. Hot cocoa for me, Abby decides. Hot cocoa for Elmo too, says Elmo. But now Julia seems worried. She shakes her head back and forth. No, hot, she says. Alan thinks for a minute. Cold chocolate milk for you, Julia, he tells her. Thanks, Elmo and Abby say. 1, 2, 3 mugs, Julia counts. Yeah, and 1, 2, 3 friends. Abby points to each one of them. The 3 friends sip their drinks. And 1, 2, 3 milk mustaches, counts Elmo giggling. We're all amazing. 1, 2, 3. All right, thanks for tuning in again. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.